Hello everyone, I'm Raquel. My Chinese name is Li Han. I come from China and currently pursuing my undergraduate studies at Qingdao University of Technology. My foreign teacher is Luke, an extremely humorous educator. First and foremost, I would like to discuss individualism and collectivism. Individualism places greater emphasis on personal interests and underscores the uniqueness of the individual. In contrast, collectivism lays more stress on an individual's sense of belonging and responsibility towards the collective. I'm sure everyone remembers the pandemic in 2020. This was a vivid example of individualism and collectivism. The approaches taken by the United States and China in epidemic prevention and control clearly demonstrated these two concepts. In China, during the epidemic prevention and control, emphasis was placed on individual cooperation with the collective, and efforts were made by all sectors of society. In the United States, the approach to the epidemic was more focused on individual rights, and even anti-mask and anti-vaccine movements emerged. Individualism and collectivism should work together, maintaining a balance between the two in order to function better. In modern society, we should learn to handle the relationship between the individual and the collective properly. We should respect individuals within the collective and unite the collective within the individual. Next, I would like to present the concepts of neutral and emotional. Neutral is oriented towards objective facts and logical reasoning, avoiding subjective emotions or value judgments, and striving for neutral and restrained expression. Emotional, on the other hand, is guided by subjective feelings and emotional resonance, using emotional language and emotional expression to evoke psychological identification from the audience. I think this film is a great example of the integration of neutral and emotional. The film begins with scenes such as the court verdicts, search during imprisonment, and newcomers wondering if they will break down, presenting the survival rules of the prison like a documentary, such as no private conversations and silence during work. Even when Andy is assigned to the laundry room, the camera calmly swept over the process of prisoners queuing up to receive their prison uniforms and getting their numbers tattooed. Completely without subjective criticism, merely presenting the environment from a neutral perspective of how the system operates. The architectural design of Shawshank Prison is deliberately emphasized. High walls, electric fence, crammed cells, and a crowd as dense as candles during release time. The director uses a large number of panoramic and overhead shots to make the prison itself a neutral symbol of systemization, rather than deliberately emphasizing horror, yet allowing the audience to feel the oppression from the sense of enclosure in the space. When Andy spreads his arms in the rain, the slow motion, overhead shots, and music together form an emotional climax. However, the power of these scenes stems from the 2-hour neutral narrative accumulation in the previous part. The audience knows that he just clapped through a sewage pipe and knows about his 20 years of patience. So this raining baptism is no longer just a visual spectacle, but an emotional symbol of breaking free from shackles. And the neutral escape process becomes a necessary prerequisite for emotional elevation. This film features both a neutral and restrained part, as well as an outburst of Western emotions. This is all the content of my video. I hope that by watching these two parts, everyone can better appreciate the beauty of Chinese culture. Finally, thank you for watching.